The Ruach HaKadosh of Har-Adulam is upon me, because he has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives and recovery of sight to the blind, to set at liberty those oppressed, to proclaim the acceptable year of Har-Adulam. Hallelujah.
Turn with me to the 4th chapter of Luke, verse 18. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised. Jesus took up the book in the temple and read these words, and impressed the fact because of the manifestation of the work he was doing.
A reading from the scroll of the prophet Isaiah. The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to bring good news. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, proclaim liberty to the captives, and the recovery of sight to the blind, to the opening of the prison for those who are bound, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor.
You are now riding with the Ruach for Yahuwah. Kahan tells a Dr. Falmouth Kahan, so you know who's. You are now riding with the Ruach of Yahuwah. I am your host, Kahan tells the Doc, a.k.a. Falmouth Kahan. And I post because people like you have been chosen to reveal my existence to the world. You will witness things that happen in my presence, and you will tell about it later. Let's ride out.
I'm going to follow you.
All right, let's ride. So right now I'm riding with my guy, Christopher Brown. Shout out to Christopher Brown.
Let me get mine first. Then after I get mine, you can do what you want to do.
All right, shout out to Christopher Brown, man. I went down and ride with him this day, so let me talk. We're going to go into the history of motorcycles today as we ride. So the first production motorcycle in the United States was the Orient Aster, which is actually built by Charles Metz in 1898. This was built at his factory in Waltham, Massachusetts. Now, if you Google who invented the first motorcycle ever in the world, I would say that there's a 96 to 95% chance you'll see the name Gideon Dahmer and Wam Maybach, who literally created the petroleum rental wagon, the first ever gas-powered motorcycle, which was actually in 1885. Now, the key there is the first gas-powered. But, however, if we look at the first motorcycle that was ever created, long before that, the first motorcycle, which means a motorized bicycle, right? You see people going to Walmart buy these motorized bicycles. Those were considered motorcycles back in the day. That was considered to be a motorcycle. It really is a motorcycle. It's a cycle with a motor on it. You understand? You dig? You feel me? You smell me? So the first motorcycle came courtesy of a guy called Sylvester Howard Romper. See, he had the idea of a steam-powered engine into a bicycle chassis. And this was way back in 1869. And so, knowing thus, it was he that's on record for creating the first motorcycle ever in the world. And so this is where things get even more and more interesting. You see, motorcycles, the motorcycle that was actually made by Romper was basically a bicycle with a steam engine. It had two wheels, and it could only lean to the sides while turning. Now, there's some key characteristics or traits of all motorcycles as we know it. Now, on the flip side, the motorcycle presented by Dahmer and Maybach, it had four wheels. Today, what do you call that? You call it a four-wheeler, or you call it something else, a RV. You know what I mean? Back then, they was referring to that as a motorcycle. But two big ones and two small supporting wheels on the side. And this restricted its ability to be able to lean on angles, essentially making it a four-wheeler. Doesn't really classify as a motorcycle to me. What do you think? Leave your comments below. Now let's go to America, right? Because when you think of American motorcycles, you hear people talking about Harley. Now, there's someone known as Indian, and you see Indian motorcycles are starting to come back. And Indian, unbeknownst to most of you, Indian had a contract with the military before Harley did. But Indian went bankrupt. But I'm jumping the gun here. But Indian was a more popular motorcycle than Harley back in the day. In fact, when they competed in a race, Indian won. Indian won the competitions. But they eventually went bankrupt. And Harley got the contract with the military, which made them extremely popular during the World War II time span. But let's delve into the true history, because all of you love riding bikes, and I'm going to go into this history that you didn't know, and you're going to become a motorcycle historian. So the oldest motorcycle company is Indian Motorcycle. Indian Motorcycle Company was founded in 1901. Now, other companies like Harley-Davidson also, they was established in the 20th century, but Indian holds the distinction for the first motorcycle company being an American motorcycle manufacturer. They beat Harley by 2 years. But there's some other motorcycle manufacturers that you guys probably don't know of, and you think you're a true adept in the motorcycle venue or arena. Well, let me educate you. There's a company known as Simplex. It was founded in 1935. The headquarters was in New Orleans, Louisiana. It was founded by a man by the name of Paul Treen. They're no longer in business. This is why you're hearing about Harley, and now you're starting to hear about Indian, since Indian's making a comeback. They made smaller and lighter motorbikes, and they were first produced by the Simplex Manufacturing Company in New Orleans in 1935. How many of you in New Orleans knew about that? Now, given its basic design, both adults and youngsters could actually afford personal transportation. But did you know? Up until 1972, when the corporation closed down, Simplex continued to develop motor scooters. After ceasing manufacture motorcycles in 1960, did you know that? I bet not. Educated you. Let's move on to number 9 on my list. There's a company known as Ace Motor. Bet you didn't know about this, Eric, huh? Did you know this, Chris? So Ace Motor were founded in 1919. Its headquarters being in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It was founded by William G. Henderson, and they're no longer in business, which is why you don't hear about them. And some of you probably never heard about them. So William G. Henderson, he was an American engineer, and a motorcycle designer. He established Ace Motors in 1919. And so from 1919 to 1924, Ace Motors Corporation produced motorcycles consistently. But after that, the company operated sporadically until 1927. So Henderson started to build his own company once again. And the new Ace motorcycle was dubbed the two-wheel Dessenberg because of its remarkable engineering and performance. So moving forward to 1927, Ace Motor Corporation was bought by Indian, the Indian company who now makes Indian motorcycles following Mr. Henderson's death. Did you know, upon testing the Ace Sporting Solo in Philadelphia in 1922, William Henderson lost his life in an accident? Did you know that? Which was probably why it was bought by Indian. And so I surmise that some of the Ace motor ideas are engineered into the Indian motorcycles. Well, moving right along to number 8 on our list is the Flying Markel. It was founded in 1911. Headquarters was actually in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, by Joseph Markel. Are they still in business? No. So in 1902, Joseph Markel opened a factory in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You ever hear about that, Preds? Preds out there. And this where he began making single-cylinder motorcycles. Among the first motorcycle manufacturers, Markel was one of the most invented. The Flying Markels, known for his outstanding engineer, were used to compete in broad and dirt track races in the 20th century. The Flying Markel's production sprouted as a result of the outbreak of the war, declining market, and growing competition. So in 1917, the last Markel machines were built. But did you know the tanks on Joseph Markel's motorcycles had the distinctive Markel light logo? Moving on to number 7 on my list. Number 7. It's a Latin word, y'all.
Excelsior. Excelsior.
The word is Excelsior. It's Latin. And its headquarters was actually in Chicago, 1905. Excelsior. Ignaz Schwinn. Are they still in business? No. Created a company called Excelsior, Latin word. It means higher. Excelsior means higher. It's a Latin word that means higher. So from 1905 to 1931, the Excelsior Motor Manufacturing and Supply Company produced American motorcycles for Rudolph Street in Chicago. They produced them on Rudolph Street in Chicago, should I say. Ignaz Schwinn was the owner of the bicycle company known Arnold Schwinn. You know the Schwinn bicycles? So it was Arnold Schwinn and Company back then. It was acquired in 1911. Now, the renowned X Series was an engine configuration by Excelsior introduced in 1910 and continued to produce until 1929. Excelsior participated in several contests and broke numerous world records in an effort to promote the brand. So the Henderson Company achieved yet another record at this time when rider Lee Himston reached a peak speed of 100 miles per hour. 100 miles per hour. The Excelsior brand was proven to be a success by 1914 as one of the successful motor manufacturers. Did you know that in 1917, the Henderson Company made a buyout to the Excelsior due to financial constraints and a lack for raw material. So that's what happened to Excelsior. They're no longer in business. Number 6 on my list, you all know and love, is Harley-Davidson. Harley-Davidson. They were founded in 1903. Had its headquarters in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. What up, Prez? What up, though, Prez? You from Wisconsin, Prez? What's goody? You got a Harley, Prez? How you gonna be from Wisconsin and not have a Harley? Come on, Prez. Tell your wife you let you get a Harley, my guy. Okay, so the founder was William S. Harley, Walter Davidson, William A. Davidson, and Arthur Davidson. So you see, one guy name was Harley and the other 3 was Davidsons. Are they still in business? You bet. I have a Harley. I have a Street Glide. Had it for about a month and a half now. Harley-Davidson is an American motorcycle manufacturer. And Harley-Davidson is a famous motorcycle brand. It was formally incorporated in 1907, with Walter Davidson acting as the president. So the company has a reputation for releasing some of the most popular motorcycles in the world. You got these all the way over. You got people over in Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi, riding Harleys. They got Harley clubs over there. They got biker clubs over there. Harley-Davidson is renowned for its brand of personalization, which helped to create the chopper motorcycle design. But I'm going to go into that later because unbeknownst to most people, they don't want to give credit. It was a so-called black man that created the first choppers. And if you didn't know, now you know. But did you know, due to the fact that Harley, out of the 4 men, was the one to come up with the initial idea for a motorbike, not the Davidsons, but Harley. Harley came up with the initial idea for a motorbike. So the company name was pronounced as Harley-Davidson and not Davidson Harley. You understand? That's why it's called that. Because Harley came up with the idea. So Harley-Davidson, WLA, was a primary motorcycle used by the United States military during World War II. Did you know that Indian initially had the contract with the military? But Indian went bankrupt. It was also a leading U.S. military motorcycle in the war. So moving down to number 5 on my list. Are you ready? Number 5 on the list. Let's go.
Hey, boy, the nigga whole style is chump.
You already know, bro. So number 5 on the list is Indian. Now, some of you will say that Indian's better than Harley. I don't know, man. I'm thinking maybe I should have grasped an Indian because it comes with more features. Harley, you got to upgrade. Not bad mouth on Harley, man, but yo, man, one of the dudes that I was talking to in the dealership, yo, man.
Hey, boy, the nigga whole style is chump.
His whole style is chump. So Indian Motorcycle was founded in 1901, 2 years before Harley. Its headquarters was in Mindia, Minnesota. The founder was George Hindy and Oscar Headstone. Are they still in business? Yes, they are. Now, George M. Hindy, he's a forerunner in the business, and he established the Hindy Manufacturing Company. It also known as the Indian Motorcycle Manufacturing Company. Excuse me. As a manufacturer of bicycles. Well, so Hindy established the business first plant in Springfield downtown in 1901 alongside co-founder and chief engineer Oscar Headstone. The bikes were first made in Springfield, Massachusetts in the United States. So from 1901 to 1953, the company's name was changed to Indian Motorcycle Manufacturing Company in 1923. Huh? In 1953, all models of Indian motorcycles was taken off the production line, beginning a 5-decade hiatus in the company's illustrious past. So when the Polaris Industries purchased the Indian Motorcycle Company in 2011, it marked the end of the ambiguity and the effectively inaugurated a brand new era of prosperity, reminiscent of the business' early cautious expansion. But did you know Indian motorcycles were first used in the United States Army in 1913? So moving on to another brand, Thor. Thor was founded in 1901. Its headquarters was in Aurora, Illinois. The founder was Aurora Automatic Machinery Company. Are they still in business? No. Aurora Automatic Machinery Company manufactured motorcycle engines for Indian bikes. Interesting, right? In the early 1900s, before branching out to create its own line of motorized bicycles, which they named Thor. So the company produced engines for Indian motorcycles of Springfield, Massachusetts from around 1901 to 1907. And Thor was also authorized to sell those engines on the international market. So by 1913, a more refined engine with a bigger displacement had been created. It was installed with both cylinders aligned, as in customary for a V-shaped engine. Production of Thor motorcycle engines began to decline in the late 1910s and was discontinued by 1916. Hey, did you all know, despite the end of the Thor motorcycle line, the parent, Aurora Automatic Machinery Company, kept the Thor name alive as a line of its home appliances? Did you know that? So moving on down to number 3 on my list is the Pope. Yep, the Pope Manufacturing Company. It was founded in 1876. I said the Pope Manufacturing Company was founded in 1876. It was founded in Hartford, Connecticut by Albert Augustus Pope. Are they still in business? No. But the Pope's damn sure still in business, right? So the Pope Manufacturing Company was established in Boston, Mass. Way back, hey, move that car so I could get my bike in here. Go and park your car in the Harvard Yard. So way back in 1876, it became a legal entity in Hartford, Connecticut in 1877. In 1907, the Pope filed for bankruptcy and he died in 1909. The firm was reconstituted in 1914 and the Westfield Manufacturing Company was formed a year later. The Torrington Company acquired Westfield as a subsidiary in 1933. Now, that's the same year that Roosevelt took the gold out of order, right? A standalone corporation was established, and in 1967, it changed its name to Columbia Manufacturing Company. In 1987, the company declared bankruptcy and once more underwent reconstruction. Did you all know? Up until 1896, Albert Pope was the top American producer of bicycles. I bet you didn't know that, huh? So which moves us on to number 2 on my list. Albert Johnson. The year founded was 1871. Headquarters was Jackson, Arkansas. Founder was Ivor Johnson. Are they still in business? No. Ivor Johnson was an American manufacturer of bicycles, motorcycles, and weapons. The business bore the same name as its founder, Ivar Johnson, who was a Norwegian ancestry. The renowned manufacturer gunmaker Ivar Johnson's Arms and Cycle Works produced Ivar Johnson motorbikes from 1907 to 1915. The company was taken over by Ivar Johnson's son after his death from illness in 1895. Their more than 3 decades of motorcycle operations came to an end as the brothers focused on manufacturing firearms during World War I. You dig? Did you all know? Ivar Johnson's Arm and Cycle Works became the company's new name when it relocated to Fitchburg, Massachusetts. I bet you didn't know. Which brings us on to the last one on my list. Number 1, Pierce Arrow. Founded in 1865, headquarters was in Buffalo, New York. George and Pierce. Are they still in business? No. Pierce Arrow, formerly known as Heinz Pierce and Manchur, is considered the oldest motorcycle company in the United States. Pierce Arrow produced commercial vehicles, fire trucks, camp trailers, motorbikes, and bicycles, in addition to its precisely luxury cars, which are the company's best-known product line. Yo, they was founded in 1865, yo. By 1901, the company had produced the first single-cylinder, 2-speed, no-reverse Moretta. The Arrow, a 2-cylinder vehicle, was created in 1903. Due to a lack of sales and funding for growth, Pierce, the only luxury brand without a lower-priced vehicle like the Packard 120, filed for bankruptcy. In 1938, and ceased operation. Did you all know George N. Pierce passed away in 1910? Herbert M. Dowley joined Pierce Arrow in 1912 and worked there until 1930. So he worked there until 1938. Until 1938, and he designed nearly every model. So there you have it, a history of the motorcycles in America. And if you didn't know, and now you know, you see me riding out. You've been riding with the RUACH. I'm your host, Kahan Tells It Doc, the Foul-Mouth Kahan. This particular day right here, I was actually riding with Chris Brown, but I'm in a different location right now, departed ways with Chris Brown, as you see him in traffic. I just want to say that all of you, when you're out here and you're riding, be sure to ride safe. Keep your head on a swivel. I get people to pull in front of me almost every day. I ride almost every day. Every day the weather's good, I'm either on my Enduro Dual Sport or I'm on my Harley. I get a lot of seat time in. So I see a lot of things. There's probably a lot of footage on here that I don't put up. Some almosties that could have been fatalities. But, you know, I'm out here. I'm still out here. Everybody stay safe. You want to ride if you're in the Atlanta area, any of the suburbs to Atlanta, yeah, hit me up in the DM. I'm not hard to find. If we vibe, then we can ride out. You see, I'm out here. I'm doing it big out here, man. You'll stay safe, man. And did you all hear about the incident that took place in Atlanta? It was a motorcycle shooting. 2 are dead and 3 are critically wounded. The assailant is still at large. Allegedly, is someone that came down from Philly, and they was having a motorcycle gathering. A female motorcycle club was actually having a gathering, and I guess somebody encountered someone that they didn't like, and they started spraying up the place. So you get about 150 to 200 people partying in a location that was a business, a mechanic shop that was actually supposed to be closed, but they didn't have a license to run that shop, but they were still there partying and so on and so forth. And then gunshots started ringing out. Everybody started scattering. 2 are left dead, 3 are critically wounded. And, you know, this was right over in Atlanta. Well, so this took place in Forest Park. I mean, 2 dead, 3 critically injured, and a female motorcycle club was hosting this event. More than likely, they're gonna lose their license, man. So you'll be safe out there, man. And you know, I can't tell someone else how to live their life, man. But we're adults here. I mean, when we mature as adults, you know, I surmise it's time that, you know, we conduct ourselves like adults. These things should be done for positivity, not. This is reminiscent of the ghetto, the hood life that I came from, and I don't want to be a part of that life anymore, man. Well, so I try not to affiliate with these kind of things. I mean, so if you're hosting an event, I'm going to put this out here and leave this in the air. You should have some form of security, and you need to start really patting people down if they don't want to be pat down. You shouldn't let them in your event. It's your event. I mean, this is the only way to prevent things like this. And still, you know, you're going to have someone that act up. They came from out of town, and as a result, 2 people are dead, 3 critically wounded, and the assailant is at large. So apparently someone probably had the snitch for them to, you know where this assailant is, and so on and so forth. You understand what I'm talking about? See, I'm rolling on this Endure. I'm doing what, 82 right? But be safe out there. I'm Kahan tells the doc, man, the 5 Mile Kahan, man. But for more content like this, if you enjoyed this, leave your comments below. If you don't think motorcycle history is important, then you're not really a true adept like myself. You're not like me, and I'm not like you. I get into something, I go into it wholeheartedly. You dig? Want to know everything about it. If you're a true adept in something, you got to know the history. You got to know everything about it, because that makes you the best at what you do. So don't slack off. Don't be a slacker. Put your heart in it. If your heart's not in it, it may not be for you. Some of you just do it for a hobby. Some of you just ride once or twice a month. Your bike sit in the garage. Well, you just want to have it to say, I have a motorcycle. I got 3 different bikes. Sometimes I switch out bikes 2 times a day. When I ride. Get a lot of seat time, yo. A lot of seat time, bro. I'm out here. I'm really outside. I'm really outside. Hit me up if you want to ride. I mean, Eves, females, you want to ride? Hit me up. My guys, you want to ride? Hit me up. Just have a level head. Don't come with no craziness. What? I'm not about that life, man. Yeah, I'm saying I'm trying to live like I'm a mature adult that has some sense. Enjoy life. I mean, you want to fight? Join the army. If you're too old, join the Salvation Army. You dig? But don't bring madness to around civilized people, because I'll civilize at 85 or quick. You dig? But knowledge reigns supreme. So I'm about to bring this joint to a close. Now you know some history of first motorcycles in America. It's probably not what you thought, more than likely. And again, if you're in that area, you got a Harley or you got a dual sport, I could ride either way. You want to go on a cruiser, I pull out the Harley. You want to do a dual sport off the road, we could do that as well, if your spirit's right. But check your spirits, queens. Don't be out here murking each other, man. That's the wrong kind of spirit right there, bro. That's the spirit of the high shaitan, man. I'm out here. Hit me up. Get at me, man. Kahan tells the doc, said it, the foul mouth Kahan, man. Riding with the RUACH, man. A day, all day. So with that, man, I'm going to put 2 fingers in the air and say peace. But it can't be no peace until we get rid of all of this confusion. You heard? I'm outside. I'm really outside. Hit me up if you want to ride. Riding with the RUACH. before I slide on you, let's look at some of these bikes. That's an Indian right there, right? That's a tour bike. Nice. This is another Indian right here. That's raw, right? Here's another Indian touring bike right here. As you see, you can see how they compete with Harley. This as well as a military bike right there. This is one of the older inventions that I was talking about. Another older invention right there. Some of the first inventors right here. Back here, as you see, they're coming back with this. You could buy these type of bikes at Walmart now. They call them a bicycle, but they're really a motorcycle, right? So here's a Harley right here, right? You see, I mean, this is going back in the day to another bike that's the Indian factory right there. And again, we see we're going back in the day here to these motorbikes, right? That became known as motorcycles, where you see people riding these things again now, man. Seeing these motorized bikes, people pedaling and so on and so forth. As you see, there's a bicycle. You could pedal it, and it has a motor on it. It's exactly what you're seeing today now, though, right? You see, this is the Pope Manufacturing Company. Another motorized bike, another one. They called these motorcycles back in the day. Now people calling these bicycles or motorized bicycles. They're coming out with different names. This is the preferred for special ops. Military. These type of bikes are preferred for special ops military. And there's your Harley cruiser right there. So you see what it is, man. There's another Harley right there. So what do you think? Indian or Harley? This is the Harley adventure bike. What do you think? Leave your comments below. Would you rather have the Indian or a Harley? Or if you had both an Indian and a Harley, leave your comments below and you tell us which one's the best. Because if the Indian's the best, I might just get rid of my Harley because I heard the Indian comes with better features. I don't know, man. But until the next time, you've been riding with the RUACH, man. I am your host, Taza Doc. Peace. 2 fingers. And I'll leave that in the air. You dig?